So here we're going to draw the card. If there are more than 6 minions, spawn a captain. Well, there are 5 minions, so we were in good shape there. There's no threat penalty. Nobody has 10 threat or more. And then the activation order, always the same here: minions, captains, bosses, and then we are going to spawn after we activate these minions here. Now if we take a look at these guys here, threat is not a big deal with these crawlers because they're going to activate on proximity first. Basically they just kind of go to whatever's closest to them. And here's why I'm confused about if these guys actually will trigger darkness, because these guys are definitely going to attack them. So let's check our range here. We got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Obviously these guys are going to go to him, he's closer. And then these 3, yeah, these are a little bit there. Now these guys won't leave room for their buddies, but we'll go ahead and just do, well, these guys are ranged. So they're just, yeah, these guys are in perfect range to zap him. We'll do those last then. So he's going to go 1, 2. Their movement is 4. So 1, 2, 3, and then he'll 1, 2, 3. So we'll just go ahead and say that all of them are going to pick on him. Now each of these guys has 5 hit points. If you can see here, I went and marked, there we go, on this little board. It's kind of a generic tracker here. So each of these has 5 pips, and so I have those there. And basically the top, middle, and bottom guy up here, because it doesn't look like they move at all. So that's our hit points there. So these guys are kind of guarding the door, let's say. So these guys will go ahead and activate. And then during the refresh phase, these guys are each going to deal 1 damage. So these guys are all actually going to die. He's going to hit that one, he'll hit that one, he'll hit that one. Now we'll see if they actually take any damage. So if we take a look at our crawler card here, we'll go ahead and set that right there. You can see a couple of things. Now you have here, you have it's going to roll 1 d10 and 1 fate die. It's going to do 1 damage, and then it needs to roll a 7. Now if it rolls this, then it's going to actually poison the target. So that could actually be pretty bad if they stack the poison on that guy. So, and you can see here again, they need to roll a 7. So we're going to go ahead and do a roll for each of these guys here, going from the top to the bottom. I'm just going to have them all attack him. I don't really care that much. So there's an eyeball and an 8. So top guy, I'm going to move his little marker down, and then they're going to hit him again. Nothing there. That's a 2 and nothing. And the last attack here is going to be an 8. Oh, and that is a poison, yes. So he is poisoned. So he's going to be down to 3 health. I'm going to go ahead and put a little marker on him. So we'll go ahead and put a little poison. So he's going to die soon. And then just to, you know, do quick bookkeeping, all these are going to die. So they're going to kill them, and they are off the board. And those were our melee fighters. Now we are going to have these 2 suckers attack them, or him, I should say. So it's the same idea. So we're going to roll for lefty and then righty after that. So we're going to roll there. So there's a 2. That's not going to hit. He's going to miss, and then he's going to roll 4, but he has a poison on him now. I'm just going to go ahead and use this in the refresh phase there. I don't care if the timing's right. So he's going to wipe out that poison. Now we're going to take a look at the spawn. So this is a normal spawn. So we're going to spawn 2 melee crawlers and 2 ranged crawlers around the layer there. So go ahead and just stick these over here. Those would be the melee guys, and then I think the ranged guys like to stick together. We'll just have them coming on that side there. And so that they will have spawned there. Now we're going to reset our darkness AP. And I almost forgot there, since that guy is poisoned, I'm just going to mark and tick that like so. Now here's the thing. This is where the game is going to be different for folks. I'm sitting here in my Eurogame cranium here and saying, you know what, there's really no rules for poisoning NPCs. But the RPG side kicks in, the reality, the simulation side kicks in and goes, he's poisoned, he's a fighter, he's just like everybody else. So just do whatever makes sense. This is not a game you win or lose. This is a game that you play in a sandbox. I don't know how else to tell you that. So anyway, enough of that rule stuff. I'm just going to play through the rest of the game now. Okay, now I have some interesting options here, what I can do. What I'm really trying to do is generate a lot of threat here, so that I can take these guys out, kind of get them rallied and corralled. Almost, if you're familiar with like video game terminology, kind of kite them around me and get them in a position where I can do a lot of damage. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play, first of all, I'm going to do a hustle here. That's basically two movement points and a darkness, so I'm back to 1 darkness. So I get my 2 movement points here, 1, 2, and then what am I going to do here? It would be interesting if there was like shoving in this game. I guess you can kind of knock people down. So there's 2, and I'm gonna go 1, 2, and then I'm gonna play the other move here. I've got another 3 move here, just to move the 1 spot. So that'll go up darkness to 2, and we're just gonna sneak in here like that. So now I've got 2 darkness from his side, and then I'm going to play some cards from the cleric. He's actually going to play this card here. This is the Blood of an Overcomer. Now this would actually have cleared the status effects of somebody. Now this guy, the soldier over there, he's not in range, but I'm going to play this to add a threat. So he's going to do that. He's going to add a threat. So he's at 1 threat there. Now the reason I'm doing that is because that's a faith card. So I'm going to play that faith card. Then I'm going to go ahead and play this movement card here. I don't need to, but I want to play for that extra darkness. So now up to 3 darkness. This is going to allow me to move, I think, here and then here. And then I'm going to go ahead and play this last rights card here again. So you can see I'm in range of that center square there. And then because I have a faith, I can actually hit one of these extra crosses. So I'm going to actually generate 2 darkness with that card. So 1, 2, that puts me at 5. So definitely going to trigger because these guys are going to immediately react when we go into refresh and generate a darkness here. Now he's going to go ahead and, let me see here. I don't think it matters too much. I'm going to hit this guy and this guy. So we're going to go ahead and roll a d10 there and the fate die and see what we got here. Oh, you know what? This actually shows here an extra d10 if I use the exerted movement. So just for fun, I'm going to have him I'll just have him move like an extra square for no reason. So I'm going to do 2 of these and then the fate dice there. So bam, that's going to kill these 2 guys like so. So those guys are wiped out. He's going to get 2 more threat because he did 2 more damage. So if we look over here, we're going to go boom, he's at 3 threat. So if we look here, these guys are all in range. Currently our darkness is over here at 5. And so that's going to give us a bump. We're going to flip that. And I'm just going to show you this card here. Basically, this card here is anybody that's within threat range, and their threat range is 3. It's going to make everybody attack the soldier there. So that's going to add a little bit of rage to the soldier. So we'll go ahead and flip the darkness card and then see basically that all these guys are going to attack the soldier. We'll have a little bit more spawning. But if we move over here, these guys are all going to end up being in range of, let's say that blocks line of sight. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, whatever. So he's going to hit that. These guys are in range, but it doesn't really matter. And then this guy will end up coming here. And then, unless something different happens, I don't think so. Let's see, event. Uh-oh. If no hero is within 2 squares, spawn 4 minions and 1 captain. Okay, they're not within. I shouldn't have moved those guys quite yet. So let me move them back. Okay. So maybe I won't play that because that is going to. We'll see what happens. All right, so that. Spawn 4 minions and 1 captain. Alright, so the captains for these are the scorpions. And we'll just stick him there, I guess. Yeah. And then we're going to do 4 minions. So I guess I'll just split it again with the 2 melee and the 2 range. So these guys are ranged. These guys have been coming out on this side. And then the 2 melee, I guess for all intents and purposes, will come out here. So there we go. So we got a nasty event here. However, if we kill that captain, we may get some treasure. Alright, so that's the event. There's no threat penalty. Activate all the minions and captains. And then the aggressive spawned. Great. So they're going to spawn, and then the spawn monsters are immediately going to activate. So this could get dirty really quickly here. So all of these guys are going to now activate because the event has spawned them. Now everybody's activating, and we're going to have all of these minions activate. So let me think here. So I could have everybody try to attack him. Force all enemies within threat range to advance and attack the soldier. So I don't know that it makes a difference to play that card because he's going to get surrounded anyway, and my gut's telling me that they're not just going to stack around him. I mean, thematically, you could kind of do that because he's kind of taunting them, so they're all going to kind of rush over there without getting distracted. Now, the normal rules are once the guy's surrounded and you can't get to him, then they're going to pick the next available target. So I'm just going to keep that card, not play it. So anyway, so the minions are going to activate. So these guys, we'll just say he's going to, who's he? He's a melee, so he's going to go there. And this guy is ranged. That's not what I meant to do. Oh no, he was there already. Right. So he, 1, 2, 3, he doesn't need to go anywhere. 1, 2, 3, so he's in range. So these guys are gonna zap him, he's gonna melee them. He's just gonna turn around here. He will end up pointing his little stinger at him. And he's gonna go here, he's gonna come down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's melee. We'll just send him this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to try to come over here now. So he's not going to do anything. Alright, that makes sense to me. Alright, so we're going to now do all the minion attacks, and then we will do all of the Captain 1 attack. So one thing we're going to do here with the healer here is he has this thing is going to actually add 2 threat. He's not going to end up losing any threat now. You can see he's actually filled up his cards thing there. So all these are filled up, and then now this is going to immediately add 2 threat. He's going to be up at 5 threat, and he's not going to lose any. But all the successful attacks on one hero are going to have to re-roll. Well, let's see, who's getting attacked the most here? There's going to be 4 attacks on him and 4 attacks on him, but he has a little bit extra bonus, so he's going to cast that on himself. Alright, so let's get these attacks over with here. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 on this guy. We're going to roll there. So that's a miss there. I don't know if you can see that. There's a 3. Next attack, that's a miss. Next attack, that is a hit. So our clear here is going to take damage. They're down to 5 hit points. Then we're just going to work our way up and around here. So first attack, that's a miss, but he takes the poison. So we'll go ahead and mark that a little bit later. This one here, that is a miss, and that is a hit, and that is a miss. So fighter's down to 8 life, and they have a little poison status on them. We can try to get rid of that a little bit later. So we'll go ahead and mark that. And lots of poison happening here. So now we're going to activate our captain here, and if I remember right, he has, okay, so he's actually going to attack twice. So we have here 2d10, 2 attacks, and he's got a 2 hit on 5. So he's going to go ahead and roll. No fate dice on him. Oh, but I forgot. He has to re-roll 1 successful attack because he played that thing on him. So we're actually going to re-roll that one guy that got a hit on him. And it's still a miss. Okay. So he's probably going to get several rolls here. So 2 dice here. And so that is a miss. And then these 2 here. That is 2 hits. Well, not 2 hits, as long as one of them was a hit. But we're going to re-roll that one. So he still snuck one in there. So anyway, it's a wash anyway with this guy. So he's going to stay there at 5 hits. So now we're going to go in and spawn 2 guys here. So we're going to spawn 2 range guys, and we'll just stick them. I'll stick them there. And then we're going to do 2 melee guys. Do I have enough pieces? I may have to dig into my orcs here. Alright, these guys are going to come out here. And then these guys are going to activate because there was an aggressive spawn. So these guys, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say, well, see, they can't get to him. And so these, I'm going to call this a group here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to be in range. He can't get to him now, so yeah, I don't know what the heck. So this 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to head that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then let's see, 1, 2, 3. So he's 1, 2, 3. So he's ranged, right? So my logic there was these guys are melee. They can't really get around to him. They're going to kind of veer over towards these guys because they're a clear path, clear line of sight. Now this guy here, he's going to be able to get off an attack because he's within range there. Hopefully that makes some sense. That's a hit on him. He's poisoned already, so I'm not going to adjust it. He's going to go down to 7. And then now we're in the refresh phase. So a couple of people are poisoned. Our fighter's poisoned. He's going to go down to 6 over here. And then this guy over here, he's going to be down to 1 hit point. So we're definitely going to be losing him before the end of the day here. So one thing I think I forgot to mention is I probably didn't have enough crawlers out when I first had the layer on the map there. So I kind of went in favor of having hunting packs kind of separated versus having, you know, a guy spawned on the lair. So I just remembered that now. The other thing to mention now is I am very close to hitting this layer here. And so layers are very easy to hit. You just need to roll 3 and they take 5 damage. So we're going to reset everything. And let's see, the fighter's not going to have any threat. The acolyte now is at 5 threat, so he's in a little bit of danger. He's going to have to, generate some more threat here. So we got to be careful of getting a threat penalty. So let me reset my hands, and then hopefully we'll try to blow away this layer so we don't get too many more guys spawned out on us. And we're also going to be cycling through both our decks, so that is a good thing. Okay, now it's the more interesting card draw. This is definitely my favorite part of the game, is the card play here. So, we have an interesting idea here, and I think that I probably am going by the rules here, is I can actually use this card here, build up some faith, and target this. So 1, 2, and I can hopefully target, maybe move over here, and then target and hit that a few times, kind of on each spot there. Let's see, I need 1 faith per extra square. The other interesting thing here is we now have this blade dance here. And so this is sort of a reactionary card. I'm going to have to wait till these guys activate. They sure as heck are. And then I can do some counterattacks. So this kind of blade dance idea here I can use to kind of hit and hammer on that, because I also have some other reactionary cards that are basically going to act as parries here. So I can parry one incoming attack, and then I can play this other one here as a thing. So that'll be 2 incoming attacks, and if I play another card here as a main attack, that counts as a rage. So the whole rage mechanic is pretty cool, because as I start to lay down more cards, he kind of builds up a frenzy, and then really is going to wallop on that layer. So I'm going to do a big old hit to the layer, and then parry some attacks and things, and then just sort of build up a froth and really kind of hammer that layer, and then we're going to have to try to clear out all these bad guys once it's done. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cast an Armor of Faith on myself here. So that's going to be just a reaction there, and then that's basically going to make me harder to hit. And then I'm going to play out this card here. And so the interesting thing here is, if we take a look here, so I'm not going to move. It's going to give me +2 dice. And then I have a faith here, so that's going to give me 2 APs. So I'm going to be 2 darkness. And then I'm going to get, let's see, 2 of those. And then we're going to roll those. And I need to hit, what do I need? A 3, right, a 3. So I need a 3 on one of these. I'm basically going to do 2 damage to that. So boom, boom, 2 damage on this sucker. And I need to do, 5 damage? That's right, 5 damage. So I've got 2 damage on it here. I might be able to take the layer out, and then if I can absorb, the attacks from these guys, then I'll be in good shape. So that's 2 more threat though. That's 7 threat now. We take a look over here. That's 7 threat. We're getting really close to threat penalty, and that could be very, very nasty. You don't really want that. It's interesting because I may have a difficult choice to make here, because I can play this as a reaction during the darkness. To heal 2 vitality, but it's going to add 2 threat. That'll put me right at 9 threat. So anyway, but I may have to do that because I feel like I'm going to get walloped on here on this turn. So next we're going to play the fighter's Harvest of Bones here. So if we take a look here, we have a D10, a +1 D10 on there, and so we're going to go ahead and hit. Now, okay, this is interesting. So if I point this way, I can hit it 1, 2, and then 3 on that. Do I have any rage cards that I can play? Yeah, so these are interrupts here. I can't play these because there's no darkness cycle. I don't have any reaction cards, which again, if you're not familiar, the interrupt has the little thing. The reaction is just the arrow on the bottom, and then kind of your main action is that. So we're going to play this. We're going to get an extra D10. Or we'll go ahead and roll the fate die too. I don't think I've been doing that. Anyway, no big deal. So I'm going to try to hit that twice. I need a 3. And then I need to have at least a 4. This is interesting because I'm kind of hitting the same different things here. So you can only apply 1 dice to one thing. So let's see. Okay, so here's a 10, right? So I rolled a 10 and a 2. Maybe you can see that. So I can take and apply 1 dice to one type of monster and 1 to the other. So I'm going to apply this to the layer there. So that's 2 hits on that layer. And then the 2 I can't apply because I needed a 4 or higher for that one. And then this does nothing. So now that layer there, as you can see there, it's got 4 damage on it, and then I basically whiffed that guy. So that was actually going to generate how much? That generates 2 threat, so I'm at 4, or 2 darkness, and then 2 damage is going to be 2 threat for him. And that's that. So I will probably just generate 1 darkness AP there. That's a 5. Okay, so I'm still, these guys aren't quite going to react there. I kind of maybe I stunned them. You know, they're a little bit worried. They're like, you know how the insects are. They always freak out when you hit their mother nest there. So I did that. And so now I'm going to go into refresh. So the interesting thing now is this guy is going to die because he is poisoned and he's dead. So I'm going to reduce my treasure output a little bit on there. And so I'm going to take this off of here, and I also need to lose 1 health here on my soldier. So he's currently at 5 health. Thankfully we got that chainmail, because that's a difference of 3. 1, 2, 3. He'd be at 2 health if I didn't find that thing. And then now I've got to make an interesting choice, because remember you can only keep 1 card here. So this one, too bad, because this was going to combo nicely with this, but I think I'm going to have to keep just this 1 card. I was actually kind of hoping to generate a little darkness. I could kind of do that idea, but I think I'm just going to go ahead with the card draw, because I could generate that and then have some combo cards to play. But screw it. Let's go into the next turn. Okay, I've drawn my cards. One thing to note is that I did actually reduce the threat a little bit of my Acolyte back down to 5, because he had some empty spots there, so that's actually good. Maybe I would have put him in a horrible situation if I had kept pressing it there. Another interesting thing here, another rules thing. I know I lied earlier, I guess. So I have this card here with the soldier, and that's that one where you can kind of ride along and jump off the heads. Now, could I play that and attack the lair? I'm going to say no, because that is not something I can combo off. It's a big mass of a thing. You could play it that you could attack with it. I'm going to say that I cannot. Now, I do have a couple of things I can do here. So let us see here. I don't have a direct attack, unfortunately, from my soldier, except for that riding the edge, and I can maybe jump and kill a couple of guys. And I also have, let's see here, a smite. It's the range of the weapon though, so that's only 1 spot, so that's not going to do me any good. Now I have a consuming fire here. Now this is going to do 1 damage and then 1 damage of fate. So this is going to generate, we're going to go right into darkness if I do this, but if I hit it, that's going to blow it up. So let's do that. I'm just going to blow this sucker up. So since I'm not moving, I can get a +2 fate dice there, and then we can do that. So that's going to do 1 action. That's going to mark the darkness to 6. I get the extra fate die, or the extra, oh, is it fate dice? Oh, fate dice, not d10s. So I get 2 of those, and I get my d10. Okay. So we're going to roll that. There we go. We got a 7. And did I trigger anything? No, nothing with the fate die. So that is destroyed. So that layer is going to go bye-bye, which is good, because we're not going to spawn any more of those idiots anymore. We'll also spawn a treasure token because we killed a layer. Anytime you kill a layer, you get a treasure token there. So that's happened. And so he's done. So now we just went for it. Is there anything I could have done beforehand? No, there's not. Because if I would have done this, I would also trigger a darkness phase. The layer would still be there, and we would have got another spawn. So that was a good, tactical move there by the cleric to blow that up with his consuming fire. Now we are going to wreak some havoc. Oh, he does take a threat. So he's at 6 threat because he did a damage there. So now we will see what the darkness card holds for us. What? All right. So the event now: if all heroes are within 5 squares, minions attack twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am going to read that as a little nice thematic serendipity. So these guys are now really pissed off. We have killed their little hole there in the ground, and now they're going to attack us twice. Again, no threat penalty. Minions, captains activate, and we're not going to do any spawn because there's no layer to spawn. But we are going to get hammered. All right, a couple of things here. So these guys, this is a melee. These guys are all range, so they can all hit him. They're good to go. These guys can all hit them. This guy, so he's 1, 2, 3 from there. He definitely has more threat. Well, not really. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's got to travel longer there. So I'm just going to have these guys go here. So 1, 2. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure, why not? So now they're going to jump on him. So again, these guys are dumb insects. They're just going to all hive mind it and kill that. So okay. So now all of these guys are going to attack twice. Everybody's within range, so this group's going to attack him, these are going to attack him, and these are going to attack the fighters. So we'll go ahead and just roll for the fighter here. So we're just going to go around the horn there, so that's 1. So that is 1 damage on that fighter. So that group is done. We're going to roll through here, just go around this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rolls. That's a hit. That's a hit. That's 2 hits. That is 2 hits still. That one, so we're going to get 1 more hit. But it's a poison. So 2 hits and a poison. He's already poisoned now. 1, 2. So he's at 3 health. He's at 3 health, so he's not doing a good shape. Do I have any heals? Do I have any heals? I do not have any heals. But I can pray. None of my faiths are heals, though. Okay, he's in bad shape. Oh, but they attack twice. Hold on a minute. These guys are going to attack again. Damn it. That's a hit, and he's poisoned. So he's at 3 health. He is at 2 health. He's at 1 health. And he's poisoned, so he's going to die. We'll just take him off now. Alright, so he's dead. We're down to 1 guy left. So now we're just going to remove 2 white treasure. So we're going to roll through this guy again. So he's at 3 health. There's a hit. 1, 2. Yes, he's at 1 health. So I have 3 more rolls. He's dead. Alright, did not expect that. So he is dead. Now the rules say that he's basically out for the game. If this was like a persistent game, he would basically come back to life. He's basically knocked out. But for the rest of this act, the rest of this quest, the rest of this session, he's not going to basically escape. We may all die here. So we're going to do these 4 here. Let's see. I didn't set up anything here. Yeah, see, I had on my bust last turn. That was the thing. So we killed that layer, but did a lot of good. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's these poisons. 1 hit. 2 hits. So 2 hits and poison. So he's at 3 health. Just going to move the poison marker over to him. And so we're going to roll again. Wow, that just killed us. Man, that event just killed it. Just destroyed us there. Again. That's a miss. That's a miss. 2 more. Miss. And okay. So that now the captain is going to hit us. Let's see, 2 per, so 4. She's going to get 4 tries on us, and he needs a 5. There's 1. I'm at 2 health. 3 more rolls. 2 more rolls. So if I get a 5 on any of these, all right, he's dead. All right, so there we go. I did play through the whole scenario. I just didn't win. Okay, so there you go. I was in good shape, except I drew this double attack. I mean, without that double attack, these guys are still up and ready to fight, and I'm able to really blast these guys down because I had, basically this card to ride along here. So I showed you that one, take out 3 guys. This guy could have smited a couple of guys. I could have dotted. I was really trying to save this dot from the turn to turn to play on this captain because I figured a captain would come out. They have multiple hit points. I could have dotted him up, let him go, but I really wanted to get that layer out. I mean, could you imagine? We would have spawned another couple of guys, and I would have had to go grab into my my orcs. Not that orc, but I could have grabbed another orc there. So then the real brains behind the operation would have come out. So anyway, that is pretty much how it goes. My plan was to play through that quest card and then maybe do a trap in this location here, kind of on your way out, and then get to here, and the idea would be, okay, you could flip another chapter quest card, we can see what it might have been, and then see, I didn't start a chain or nothing, but I could have done this one here. We could have applied with our own imagination some of the flavor text to that, and then you could have basically kept going. So maybe you start off just playing this one story quest, and then you could chain a couple of these chapter quests together. And then, if you felt like you could keep playing, and then you could go into the next act in that story. So let's jump back to the talking head there. I'll give you a little bit synopsis summary of the thing, and then go from there. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough there. I mean, even though I lost, it was still fun. You can definitely tell by that last event card, they really sprung into frenzied action there and basically avenged the death of their lair. So that was kind of cool. I think you could see some of the idiosyncrasies in the weirdness that are come out of the lack of clarification of the rules. But I think, I talked about this in my review, and I said it's not that big a deal. And, I've had some people express to me, directly, and what I've seen online there on Board Game Geek, a lot of rules questions and things, and some frustration with the rules, and I totally appreciate that. But I think for me, you can see that the rules interpretations are not a huge deal. Because you come at this is the strange thing, you have this sort of blending of worlds here, because if you play an RPG, you kind of just you just fudge it and then you go for it, whatever kind of makes sense for the story. And I think if you're playing with your play group is going to be okay with that style, and you're more playing it for the story and the theme of the thing, then it's going to be really fun. I mean, I had a blast playing this and really kind of relating to you what was happening and some of my decisions. And some of my decisions about which rules to fudge and all that kind of stuff. It's just weird. Like I said in the review, it's got this rough around the edges feel. Like I said with the flavor text on the one quest card that I drew, it didn't make any sense with what was happening on the board, but I can just tweak it a slight bit and go, okay, now this, and that's the cool thing, is this world is now starting to evolve and to create itself. And I think that in some ways can be a little bit more engaging than having everything spelled out for you. With some of these more traditional board games that really kind of outline everything for you and kind of lock you inside of a box. Now the interesting thing is this comes in a box. It's not like a sprawling rule book of these different encounters and things. So anyway, I hope that was illustrated to you. I hope the fun of it was illustrated to you. I find the combat and everything very intuitive. The card play is very, very fun. And like I said, the characters are very different in how they react, and you can see that. And now I just purposely played different guys than I showed you in my review, because so you could get a little sense of the flavor. I think in my review I had the archer and the brigand I was showing you, and those play very differently. You've got just even the mechanics of how you play the cards is very different. You stack up a bunch of cards as a fighter, and you've got to have a quiver with the archer. And that's one of the reasons I didn't play the archer with this one, because he doesn't start off with any equipment, so he doesn't have a quiver. And it's like, well, how am I doing attacks? But I guess you can just hit the guy with your normal hit, so that's not a big deal. Again, there's that instance of what do I do, where it's just like, okay, just have the guy, roll your D10. It's not the end of the world. You just go ahead and do it. But I hear the complaints in here, because I'm like, I get it. I don't know for sure if I'm doing the right thing, and I don't want to be breaking the rule one way or the other, making an imbalance. And you want that sort of assuredness. But again, at the end of the day, the system that they've created here is such that I think it allows for those gaps to exist, and I think it's okay that they exist. And I really do. I mean, I honestly do. It's, I use the analogy of music, and sometimes, you have music that's very loud, and it fills up all the noise in your ear, and sometimes that's kind of music I like, but sometimes you have music where the silence is what is permeated. So I think there's pockets of silence here. Now, I'm not trying to, I also want to make sure I'm not trying to sound like I'm getting them off the hook, because that's not really a concern of mine, frankly. But I do feel like there is rough around the edges polish that needs to be happening here. But I also think that I think the goodness outweighs that issue. Okay, so that's that. You can expect a review, or not a review, a playthrough of the Galaxy Defenders probably within a week, I guess. Just got to get time. I got some other things on a video, and I also have a family and work, so maybe a week or so. And so there's that, and then I will do shortly after that a kind of a video blog comparing them. But I think you'll be able to see, if you watch this video and you watch that video, the video blog will probably feel redundant, so it may be short. But I'll go ahead and do that, and eventually after, maybe not, but we'll definitely look for Galaxy Defenders playthrough. I'll try to pick out a good scenario that I haven't played yet, probably play it beforehand and then play it again. I really want to play the one scenario where you basically hunker down in your basement. I'm not sure how interesting that'll be on camera, so we'll see. Anyway, so that's Myth again, and I hope you appreciate that. If I did break a nasty rule, please let me know. I don't think I did. I probably did, though. But let me know so I can annotate the video and all that good stuff, and then so that, you know, misinformation doesn't get out there. Okay, thanks.